Sup guys, it's Kosh, and today we are doing Diablo 4 Nightmare Dungeon Guide. I will tell you how they work, where to get the higher tier dungeons and how they are different, and you will get better at those. But before we start, a small reminder guys, a lot of Diablo 4 content coming up to this channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, that way you won't miss anything, and check out the Diablo 4 wiki for more text content. Let's go. So you will find all those sigils that will upgrade the dungeon to the nightmare difficulty in your consumables. We got this one tier 3 right now in Havizar, so I want to do this one. You just use it. It will turn the dungeon to the nightmare dungeon, and you will see it on the map right here. So the higher the tier, the more will be the loot. So there we go, we are in this nightmare dungeon, and as you can see, we got additional nightmare difficulty dungeon here that have a limited amount of revives, so you can die more times than it's allowed in this kind of dungeon. Moreover, if you open the map, you will see the bonuses that you get. You get one positive affix and some negative ones depending on the difficulty of the dungeon. The tier, you will get more and more of those. So here they have the poison enchant, and they deal more damage as a burning damage, which is not really good, but we can handle it. The good thing that you don't have the time limit for those, so you can take it slow if you want to. You don't really need to rush the dungeon in order to do it in time. At least I haven't seen the affixes that require you to do that yet. If they are available in the game, that's well, that will be interesting, but currently there is no such task, so you can take it slow, slowly destroying the enemies, and don't rush so you won't die more times than required. In the perfect world, you don't want to die at all. Other than that, the dungeon is kind of the same as you used to play, so nothing really crazy over here. I've noticed that you are getting more glyphs from those, and more sigils for dungeons, for other nightmare dungeons as well. Other than that, it's kind of the same stuff. A bit harder, but not significantly, at least not at this difficulty. The higher it will go, the harder the enemies will be, the higher will be their level, and more problematic it will be for you to clear that area, obviously. Of course, if you are sure about yourself, no one will stop you from rushing through the dungeon. Oh, we got a goblin here, that's nice. So you can do it however you feel like, up to you. Let's take this guy out. There we go. Sacred boots, not bad. I'm not sure if the loot is better than in the normal dungeons, the normal loot from the enemies, but since they are higher level, the normal items you will get will be higher level as well, so that's therefore a good thing. Moreover, you will get more XP like that because enemies are higher level. If you're strong enough, that shouldn't be a serious problem for you. We got the boss here, and it is said that the bosses are tougher than in normal runs. I don't like that fact that we got a lot of blight here. That's actually really annoying for me. Oh my god, he's stunning as well. I would say that the boss, this one specifically, is harder than the normal bosses I fought. So I can say that this fight isn't easy for me, but I'm handling it now when we got the twin out, when we're doing the maximum DPS. Should be okay-ish, but it's said that the boss should change their behavior, their patterns to be tougher. So maybe specifically later on we might see new mechanics over here as well. Oh, my health. Oh, barely made it. Oh my god, that was tough. So as you can see guys, we got another sigil for another dungeon, another exploit from this boss, and let's see what kind of sigil is that. That's another tier 3 sigil, so as you go through those dungeons, you will get higher and higher tier of sigils to go to the harder dungeons. There we go, we got kind of the final boss, so it's hard. Yes, it's not easy, but it's not harder than most of the hard bosses. Like, I wouldn't say it's extremely overwhelming. If you do things right, if you avoid the AoE zones, it shouldn't be a major issue. Yeah, I hope I won't die, because that will be so disastrous. Like, I say it's good, but then I die. Nah, it's good. Should be down, no problem. Easier than the butcher dude we met before. There we go. So when the dungeon is completed, you will get the rewards. Now we got Sacred Legendary Amulet, which is pretty good, but I'm not sure if I need this. You will also get, well, the loot, of course, and we've got plenty of those sigils right now for other dungeons. We got tier 5 one as well, which is like pretty high, and also, which is very important, you will get Awakened Glyph Stone, and that one will give you XP to your glyphs that you use in your Paragon build. over here. Which one to upgrade will be up to you depending on which glyphs do you want. For me personally, I like this one, so we can go with this one. And the higher the dungeon tier, the more XP you will get. So I did the tier 1 dungeon, it was like 4 XP. Tier 3 gives 8, and so on and so on. The higher you are, the more XP you will get, and the higher the level of your glyph will be, the better it will, because it will cover more area and get more bonuses, so it's a really good thing. Moreover, when you activate the glyph stone, you will get this defensive area around you, so you won't die here. And in case if you got some aggressive area around, like lightning attacks or something, like there are some affixes that want to kill you, you will be safe here. So, the main source of your sigils will be dungeons. I also heard that you can get them from the Tree of Whispers, but I don't remember having those jobs there ever, but maybe there is a chance. And there is another way, Occultist. In the Occultist area you can craft and salvage sigils, so this is pretty straightforward, just as with the gear. You leave the ones that you kinda like, I will leave the... oh wow, those are pretty high tier. Let's destroy this one so we can see we got 3 sigil powder from this, and we can decide what kind of quality we want to dismantle. We can craft them as well, and there are 2 types, 2 categories of those, sacred and ancestral. Sacred are available for your nightmare difficulty. It requires wall tier 3, and they are limited by tier 20, and on tier 20 the enemies are pretty powerful. I tried it before, sadly something went wrong with the footage, so I couldn't show it to you. After that you get tier 21 and up to 100 tier, and this ancestral, and that requires world tier 4, so you need to go to the higher difficulty. I think that at tier 20 it was level 70 enemies as far as I remember, and it kinda makes sense because your capstone dungeon in order to go to the next difficulty is level 70 plus as well, so basically world tier 3 is like 50 to 70 level. So for example, for me right now tier 5, 6 are good enough, so I'll craft some of those. Bam, it's pretty easy, it costs some gold, it costs that dust, and you get those sigils that you can use. Keep in mind that the higher the tier, the tougher the enemies will be. They will have the higher levels. Also at the really high tiers, you will get less chances to revive and higher amount of enemy dangerous affixes, so the dungeons will get way harder. Another thing, I don't remember if I told you about it or not, you can have only 1 nightmare dungeon, so if you select one of those and go for another one, it will cancel the current one. So now we decided to go to one of the dungeons, it became the nightmare dungeon, and if we want to go for another one, the current dungeon will be reset. So yeah, you can't activate all of them, you gotta go one after another. So here we are in tier 5 dungeon. The enemies here, well, they're tougher, but they are not extremely tough. Not like, oh wow, they do quite a lot of damage, yes. So gotta be careful when you're doing this. Once again, just like in any dungeon, pick the difficulty that will suit you well, because I tried level tier 20 dungeon and yeah, I was decimated. So pick the fights that you can handle, because over here the enemies are level 58, which is actually just perfect for me, because I heard somewhere that the level difference of 3, like the enemies 3 levels higher than you, will give you 25% bonus XP, and after that it doesn't matter that much. So if you are going in those for XP, if you want to get most XP, like this will be the best balance for you, because that will give you most XP with the least trouble, let's put it like that. So the enemies will be easier to kill and you wouldn't have significant issues fighting them. And there we go, the dungeon is completed. We got some rewards, we got some sacred legendary gloves, which is pretty good reward, I guess, and we get more sigils, more stuff, and most importantly, we get even more XP for upgrade glyphs. So that's the main thing why you want to do those dungeons, to upgrade your glyphs, to make them stronger, so your paragon glyphs will give you more and more and more bonuses. So yeah guys, that's all I wanted to tell you about the nightmare dungeons in Diablo 4. Let me know if you get extra tips down below in the comments, and check out the video description for Diablo 4 playlist with more guides, game vault, wiki page with more dungeon tiers, affixes, and level of enemies that will be really useful, and other useful stuff. Also, I would appreciate appreciate your subscribe, comment and like, because that will help me out. That will help the video to grow in YouTube algorithm, and it's nice to see your comments over here. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. That's about it for now. Stay Kosh out. Have a good one. Bye.